Today we're going to talk about midpoints. Now, a couple things here. Midpoints are just the middle of a segment. It's right there in the name, midpoint. So middle of a segment, you have a segment. I'll call it AB. There's segment AB. The midpoint is right here in the middle. And it cuts it exactly in half. So these two halves, these two parts are equal. AM is congruent to MB. And when we talk about the midpoint formula, we're talking about midpoints on a coordinate plane. And it's a nice, straightforward formula. All I'm doing is taking x sub 2 plus x sub 1 divided by 2. Now remember, that's the second x plus the first x divided by 2. And then I'm going to take the y's and do the same thing. Y sub 2 plus y sub 1 divided by 2. And that is the midpoint formula. Second y plus the first y. So remember a few things here. It's between 2 points. It's exactly halfway. It's the average. This is probably the big one right here. Make sure you understand your answer is going to be a coordinate, set of coordinates. It's going to be two numbers. It's going to be an x and a y, not just a single number. So what we do here, and this is just kind of going through talking about what it is and giving the formula again. So here, we want to go through, we want to find the midpoint. So I'm finding the point that's halfway in between these two. It's going to be best if I can go through and find the coordinates first. Now, these didn't copy super great, but we can kind of work it out. 6, and then it's up 2. And this is -8, -4. So those are my coordinates, just from counting those. I have my formula. And I just plug into the formula. I look here, my second x value, I'm going to use 6, plus my first x value, -8. And then my second y value is 2, plus my first y value, -4. And I just go through step by step. 6 plus -8, 2 plus -4, and simplify down these fractions to get -1, -1. And if you plot that right there, that's the midpoint. It should look like it's even right in the middle. Sometimes you'll just be given the points, you go through, plug it into the formula, figure it out. It's great. Sometimes you have to count them up like we did here. Still not too bad. It's finding the coordinates, plug them into the formula, find the midpoint. The one where it gets maybe a little tricky is this one. They say M is the midpoint, and we have to find the coordinate of B. There are a couple of ways to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a visual way. I'm going to take and plot these out. So A is 3, 7. That's right there, A. And the midpoint is 5, 10. That's the midpoint. Now, my picture is going to run into a little bit of a problem here, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. So this is the midpoint. I'm not finding what's halfway in between. I want to find B, which is going to be up here somewhere. To go from A to M, I know I go over 2 and I go up 3. That means I need to go over 2 more here. Now, this is at 5. If I go over 2 more, it's at 7. And I need to go up 3 more. Should be right there. So this is at 10. And if I'm going up 3, I know it's at 13. And for a lot of people, it's just easier to kind of draw that out and sketch it to see what's going on to be able to get that other endpoint. What you could do algebraically, if you wanted to do this more, you like the numbers, you like the little formula kind of deal, what we could do is I could take and use my midpoint. I could say that, oh, I know it's 5, that's the x value, and I know that that's going to be equal to x plus 3 over 2. I don't know what the x value is that for b, that's what I'm finding. So I just plug that in. I know this one's 3. I divide by 2. Multiply by 2. Subtract 3. And I get that the x is 7, which is what I found. And then I do the same thing for the y. I take my y value of the midpoint, 10, y plus 7 divided by 2. Multiply both sides by 2. Subtract the 7. And I get y is 13, which is what I have. And then I just write it as a point. So both work. Some people really like the visual. Some people like the formula part of this. Doesn't matter which way you go, both of them get you the same answer, and you're good to go there.